Happy Halloween! I, for one, love Halloween ever since I was a child. Dressing up, trick or treating, playing pranks, visiting haunted attractions, and telling horror stories. I also love the excitement of horror movies, sitting around the TV with family and friends, wondering who would jump first, but going to bed alone was never easy. Although scary movies can entertain us, bring us together, and cause bursts of laughter when your friends jump and scream, they also keep us up at night, terrify us, and instill a certain anxiety and uneasiness. Basically, they can stress us out. But why do we love horror movies so much? Welcome to Beyonce. Today, we decided to look into the actual effects of scary movies on our brains, our minds, and our bodies. Dare you to find out. Some things might surprise you. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you'll always be updated on our future uploads. October for many of us means one thing: the spooky season is upon us. This translates to pumpkin spice everything, creative costumes full of pop culture references, and of course, horror movies teeming with bone-chilling suspense and gore. Yet when seeking a good scare from our screens, it is important to keep our mental health in mind too. Movies like Jennifer's Body, The Shining, The Invisible Man, and Get Out are great for suspense and thrill, but sometimes the scare can become too real. Taking care of our mental health is important, so it pays to know your limits and how to watch in a healthy manner. Now here are some of the effects of horror movies in our mental health. Number 1. Physiological effects. Horror movies contain psychological tricks that create illusions of suspense and danger through the manipulation of images, sound, and story. Although your brain is aware that the threats aren't real, your body simultaneously registers them as if they are. A psychologist once explained that when watching horror films, your heart pumps and the adrenaline flows, and your attention narrows in, even as you know you are at home or in the theater, and there is no real danger. This is similar to being in an amusement park ride, where you can feel terrified while at the same time knowing you are safe. Generally speaking, there is no harm in watching for those who can process the illusion for what it is, yet there are some things to be mindful of. Horror films are designed to elicit certain emotions such as tension, fear, stress, and shock. This can cause the release of the hormones in the body such as norepinephrine, cortisol, and adrenaline from the autonomic nervous system. You may notice a physiological response from these hormones by way of pupil dilation, increased heart rate, and muscle tension. Number 2. Effects on sleep. Have you ever experienced thinking all those scenes in the movies and sometimes it creates some illusions that keep you up at night? Although adrenaline contributes to the overall experience of the movie, the elevated states can make it harder to sleep. Even for those who enjoy the emotional roller coaster, horror and suspense film can make it harder to sleep. But remember, getting a good night's sleep is incredibly important for both your physical and mental health. Number 3. Mental health. Research has shown that sleep loss or poor quality sleep can negatively affect how the brain processes emotions the following day and can intensify negative emotions. Poor sleep has also been linked to mental health issues. It is estimated that 90% of people with depression experience poor sleep quality. Research also suggests that going 3 or more consecutive nights in a row without sleep can result in perceptual distortions, delusions, and hallucinations. Some noted that for sensitive individuals, sleep can also be impaired by internalizing the images, let's say from movies, into dreams. This means that the horror on the screen can trigger nightmares, which are proven to disrupt deep sleep and cause poor quality sleep. If horror movies are keeping you up at night, it may be worth reconsidering your viewing choice. And number 4. Anxiety. People who suffer from anxiety are more likely to be negatively impacted by horror films. Chronic anxiety increases the sensitivity of startle-eliciting stimuli, thus making people who are already stressed and anxious more likely to respond negatively. Those that suffer from anxiety sensitivity are more likely to experience a negative impact from watching horror films. The tendency to fear intrusive thoughts and images may be triggered, and increased levels of anxiety or panic Note that watching horror images could lead to unwanted thoughts and feelings. So there is usually a major urge in those who experience anxiety sensitivity to avoid such experiences. Now, despite being full of guts and gore, horror films can have positive effects on viewers too. Generally, people who watch horror films tend to enjoy them for a variety of reasons, so for most viewers, it is a positive impact. Watching horror films can also be an opportunity to confront one's fears, as the viewer withstands the horror and gets to enjoy the payoff of resolution. This can be especially true for viewers with a certain mental health disorders. If someone is being treated for an anxiety disorder, horror movies can provide useful opportunities to face one's fears and develop the confidence that you can in fact endure unpleasant distress and that is not dangerous to you. However, it is important to talk to your doctor or a licensed psychologist about whether this would work for you personally. Now here's our tip for healthy viewing. There are also ways to lessen the impact of a scary movie while still enjoying the thrill. Number 1. Find out what subgenre suits you. An important tip to watching horror films is to find out what level you can handle and what subgenre suits your preferences. Know your own taste and tolerance. If ghosts are more likely to keep you up at night, try opting for a psychological thriller such as Black Swan, The Boy Next Door, or Look Away. Number 2. Set boundaries for yourself. The most important thing to keep in mind when watching horror films is your own comfort. There is no harm in avoiding horror movies, whether it is in response to a moral value or psychological desire to avoid unwanted images and sensations. It is important to assess your current emotions and how you'll be impacted by what's on screen, especially if you have a tendency toward fear or anxiety. Remember, you can always leave the room and pick up a relaxing book instead. Number 3. Take a break. If parts of a movie are making you feel uncomfortable, you can always close your eyes or leave for a quick bathroom break. There is no shame in turning away from a particular scene that's chilling your spine in an enjoyable manner. Number 4. Keep the lights on. Watch with the lights on or during the daytime. This can especially help if you experience extreme fear of the dark. And number 5. Buddy up. Another tip is to watch scary films with others, as they can help you feel tethered to reality. Then there's the option of cuddling, which can help you feel safe. The bottom line is, as with all genres of movies and TV shows, it comes down to individual preference and circumstance. To watch safely, monitor how horror movies are making you feel. Notice how you feel the following day or whether your sleep is impacted. Remember, you can always leave a viewing if you're uncomfortable or not enjoying the physiological responses in your body. Getting in the Halloween spirit is fun, but taking care of your mental health is far more important. Did you enjoy our tips today? Give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to Beyonce, hit that notification bell, and receive our future helpful videos like this one. And remember, sharing is just one click away.